So the most recent Monsterverse movie, Godzilla vs. Kong, broke records in the COVID box office even when HBO Max is a thing, which clearly proves lots of people came to see it and the majority clearly liked it. In fact, something pretty interesting happened when this film came out. You see, I was hoping it would do great, and guess what? It actually did great, and almost everyone loved it. I mean, sure, you have a few people hating it, but it clearly upped the popularity of the Monsterverse by a considerable amount. But will the Monsterverse continue? Well, stay tuned till the end because you're probably going to get all your answers here today. Welcome back to Factaholic, and this is what Legendary and the directors had to say about the future of the Monsterverse. So, several statements from people working with the Monsterverse threw some light on whether it has a future after Godzilla vs. Kong. Given that the film first aired on HBO Max and then later in cinemas in March 2021, the lack of future Monsterverse sequel announcements has been worrying all of us. Fans were hoping for a confirmation of Godzilla 3 or Kong 2 by now, but so far we haven't heard anything of that sort. The studio has yet to confirm outright if and when more movies will be made. So, as a result, the statements made by the writers, directors, and executive producers are the only sources of information about Monsterverse's future. And the first clue came from the CEO of Legendary Pictures, Josh Grote, when he revealed that in April last year, the studio had various ideas for additional Monsterverse films, but didn't elaborate on them further, although that wasn't the only clue. Godzilla vs. Kong director Adam Wingard, too, expressed optimism for further Monsterverse films, but stated that it will rely on fan excitement. Well, if he puts it that way, then fans are nothing but excited. Like, let's be honest, when exactly has the Monsterverse downright failed? Godzilla 2014 and Kong Skull Island both made over $500 million, which isn't bad. Godzilla vs. Kong already broke COVID box records, beating out the rest. Hell, even Godzilla King of the Monsters made $386.6 million, which is bigger than Into the Spider-Verse and Captain America the First Avenger, which made $375.5 million and $370.6 million respectively. Even when you subtract the budgets, King of the Monsters isn't too far behind Captain America the First Avenger, with only having less than a $20 million gap. And Spider-Verse is animated, so it was bound to cost less. So yeah, the Monsterverse isn't the best thing in the world, but still pretty good critically and financially nonetheless. In fact, I'd even make the arrogant argument that Godzilla King of the Monsters would have made more if it wasn't in 2019, which looked a lot like this from a competition standpoint. But let me just keep my emotions in check for a while and provide you with a final clue. And months later, after Wingard's comment, Godzilla vs. Kong writer Max Borentine, too, said that great things are occurring, possibly the most upbeat piece of Monsterverse news to date. And let me present you his actual statement for more clarity. I've heard some exciting things that are happening that I can't divulge. They have a great handle on things there, and I certainly have thoughts, and I'm always excited when I get involved in them. I think it's in good hands, and with the success of Godzilla vs. Kong, there will be some new, interesting installments coming. Without being able to say any of that officially, you can look at the fact that the film performed and people really responded to it. I think it was really wonderful timing for people to have that towards the end of the surge in the pandemic. People really felt eager to see something that was fun and joyful in the cinema. And it was really exciting to have our movie be that movie. Interestingly, he also mentioned the possibility of a movie, or movies, with minimal humans, focused on visual storytelling and set mostly from the monster's point of view, possibly similar to Godzilla Dominion. He stated, "Given the success of Godzilla vs. Kong, I'm kind of hoping in whatever the next phase Legendary decides to do, that we would see that. I think it'd be cool. I think it's possible. It would be very ambitious. I think ambitious in that Mad Max Fury Road way. I think it's totally possible to do that with the absolute minimum amount of human characters and really characterize the creatures. So it appears that the Monsterverse is far from over, and we'll have plenty to look forward to in the future. Now all we have to do is just wait and see if Legendary can renew their Godzilla contract with Toho. Also, Legendary Pictures has been reported to be trying to assure the future of the Monsterverse, but there's been no official word from the studio on this as of yet. Legendary was said to be in talks with Wingard months ago about doing another Monsterverse film, possibly Son of Kong. If this is correct, Wingard's reported Monsterverse feature will most likely have to wait until after he completes the Thundercats film. For the time being, the idea that Legendary is working on something interesting may be enough to keep the dreams for further Monsterverse films alive. It may take some time, but Godzilla vs. Kong's success in the midst of a pandemic could very well have instilled newfound faith in the franchise. Also, if you ask us, we believe that the Monsterverse has a ton of potential, from it being self-set up to its source material, and it could be brought to life if it continues. Marvel does that all the time, and so does DC. Really, there's so many ideas that the Monsterverse could use to make into these films, and it would be odd if Legendary and Toho didn't see it. So that was all for today, folks. We hope you enjoyed the video. If you want to keep watching more videos like these, don't forget to like and subscribe. This is Factaholic, and we'll see you around with another new video. Until then, take care and hope you have a good time ahead.